Welcome to DIU Escape Room Reviews. I'm Tom.
I'm Phil.
That is Phil. And we do escape rooms.
That we do.
And we review escape rooms.
That we do.
Tonight, whatever it is, we're going to review Forbidden Escapes. Or Forbidden Escape. Forbidden Escape, excuse me, in Plainville, Connecticut. This was our second room since coming back from Florida and North Carolina.
The first time
back. This is going back to March of 2018. The reason why we're doing it now, we were waiting on other people to join in on this room, but
ain't never gonna happen.
you know, it's been a year. We got to review it. So, Forbidden Escape. They have two rooms. They have one called the Backstage and one called the Basement. Their first room they opened was the Basement. Then they opened Backstage. We did Backstage first.
I would recommend doing it the opposite way.
I recommend doing it the opposite way too. I do. But Backstage is this one actually threw me for a loop because we were brand new to escape rooms, and reading the story behind it, I really thought it was an old theater in Plainville.
So did I.
I really thought so. So the backstory on this, it's very, very long. Well, not very long, but it's long. And so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it's nearly 30 years ago at the Mystique Theater. The Mystique Theater was one of the oldest running performance theaters in the state. That was until people started going missing. Local police leads found partial remains of many of the individuals in the basement of the theater, along with supernormal instruments and items of which may not have been named to the public. So you got to go through, you got to find all this stuff. Again, it's tied into the basement, but it's not tied into the basement. I mean, you don't have to do them in any specific order, but we do recommend doing the basement first, then going and doing the Backstage. This Backstage, when we first got in there, the first thing I was looking for was, is there a second room? That was the first thing I was looking for, and it is a 2-room game. We'll give you that. You walked in and you felt like you were in the Backstage.
Yep.
Very immersive. A lot of, again, this is probably room 9, I want to say. It was our 9th room because we did the 7. Yeah. The mall would have been 8. This was 9. Yeah. So this was room 9 for us at the time, and now again we're at 73 rooms. So we're very, very novice to this whole escape room thing. And at the time there weren't that many. There's maybe 15 places in Connecticut, 20 tops a year ago. Now there's got to be 20, 30 maybe places now. So yeah, it was starting to. We got in when it's really starting to get popular. I enjoyed this room a lot. I really felt like I was backstage at a show, at a theater. Some of the mechanisms, locks, codes, and whatnot felt like you were really backstage.
I agree.
It was our first experience with real Connecticut escape rooms. I don't consider the mall a real Connecticut escape room.
No.
Or a real escape room in general. I think personally it's a if you got to waste 50 minutes somewhere, you could book it and just do what you want to do. So this was our very first experience with anything that actually they built this room from the ground up. So there was a lot of work, a lot of attention to detail put into this room. again, we were very, very novice to this, to the whole escape room thing. So we were going through clues and having them push us through like crazy. And again, we had our team of, at the time it was our team of you, me, Gary, and Mike. And this room here is actually what got Gary hooked into doing escape rooms. Because his first experience was the mall. And he's like, really? You guys really like doing these? And it's like, okay, let's step it up. So, and this is what hooked him. And I said, yes, this is what an escape room is supposed to be like. So, and now he gets upset with us whenever we go to rooms and he's not involved now. So, but, hey, you know what? Schedules don't always gel together. Sometimes they clash. This was owner operated, I think brother and sister. Owner operated.
Nice people.
Very nice people, you're right. Nice people.
Hung out, talked to them for a while before and after.
Yeah. This is the first place that we went to, and we actually got something at the end, and I don't have it with me. But we got a keychain. I got a bottle opening key.
So did I.
So did you. I think Gary got a hideaway key. He took whatever to hide your keys. It was the first place that actually gave something out that we did, that gave something out when you were done.
Yep.
It was cool.
Swag.
Yeah, swag. This room, again, it's a 2-person room, and everybody's afraid to go into the second room. Well, no, Mike was. Mike was afraid. I was like, screw it, I'm gone. So I did it. And then everybody else was able to get in. We did what we had to do. We did this with extra time. We finished the room. I think we got an extra 15 minutes, something like that. All in all, I found it to be a lot of fun. It's just amazing what you can do when you just really sit down and think about what you want the room to do, what you want the room to look like. I mean, they had sandbags in there. Like
they had stuff in there that now we're, 60 rooms later,
right?
And stuff we still haven't seen yet.
We've seen
stuff like it,
but not to this detail,
right?
And it was a very enjoyable room. Again, see, now I would love to go back and try to redo some of these rooms, just for the ha-has, in all honesty. After a year of doing these rooms, what we know now compared to what we knew then, I just would love to do the rooms again, just to do them. Because not for nothing, a year goes by, I don't remember the answers to the codes.
We've gotten better.
I remember parts of the room.
They might have changed parts of the room.
They may have changed it, right? Stuff like that. So, like I said, I enjoyed it. It got Gary hooked.
I believe that the delivery system in this room,
right,
I didn't care for. It was very hard to understand.
Oh yeah, yes.
It was different from the basement.
Right. I got the two things.
Yeah,
but you're right. Yeah, it was your standard.
It was a TV.
It was a TV screen
with a video.
That gave you your clues. But yes, it was very hard to understand.
In general, with these delivery systems, I understand when it's a video delivery system and you want to have it with the theme, but a lot of times they use, if the theme is monsters or masked people or whatever, they use a voice changer, which, it is what it is. It fits with the theme, but it's very hard to understand.
Right, it needs to be understood.
Especially when you're on a time constraint and you want to do things quick. Your adrenaline is up going anyways. Mm-hmm. You're under the gun a little bit.
Right.
You're a little bit frustrated to start with because that's why you're asking for a clue.
Mm-hmm.
And then not to be able to understand what is being said. And really, that's, for this room, for me, that's really about the only negative I could really think of.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that, yes. Yeah, it was hard to understand. And I think they actually would type or put a picture of the typed clue after the video. But still, it's another, the video say is 30 seconds long, that's 30 seconds that you lost when it could have just been the picture or the video and then the picture or whatever. I mean, it ties into the room, it does. But I agree with you. It needs to be understood a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's not just this room. There's many
places do that.
Many of them do that. We just did one recently that was like that.
Yes. Yep.
And
yeah.
Other than that, I thought it was a very immersive room.
Yep.
I thought a lot of the puzzles were very well thought out, and I thought that there was things that had to be manipulated in ways that were original.
Yeah, and even to this day, we haven't seen variations, but we've never seen like exact.
Yeah.
So they were very innovative with this room.
Yeah.
So 1 to 5.
I'm giving this a 3.5.
I'm gonna agree with you because after seeing and doing all these other rooms, 3.5 is above average, and it's a solid room.
Yeah,
it really is.
I would recommend anyone to do this room.
Yes. All right, now jumping into the second room we did there,
The basement.
the basement. And again, nearly 30 years ago, the Mystique Theater was one of the oldest running performance theaters in the state. That was until people started going missing. Now you're in the basement of the theater. This one was immersive. I felt like you were in a basement. I didn't like it as well as the backstage. And come to find out, it was a bought room, and they only used parts of the bought room to do it, which is okay. I mean, it is what it is. This is the first time that we've ever gotten put in with other people.
Right.
And we got put in with 3 or 4 other girls. 4.
Yeah, 4 girls.
4 girls. And this time it was just you and me.
And the ladies.
And the 4 ladies. And a couple of ladies did rooms before. And again, we're so inexperienced that we really didn't know what to do. But they had some pretty cool clues that I've never seen before, which actually gave me an idea of when I built my desk. I wanted to do some of the things that they did, but I couldn't figure out how to do it, so I went a different route. But like there was some math involved in this, and I thought the delivery of that was phenomenal. This is a dark room with a light fog in it. There's some jump scares in it. We'll tell you that in case you guys, people. The clue delivery system was different.
Very, very good.
I thought it was okay.
I loved it.
It was cool. Except for when we wanted to take the bucket. But I found out it was glued to the floor. Now in Connecticut, you're not locked in, but you did have to find the final code to get out of the door you came in. It was a one-room game.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of it. There was a lot of confusing parts to this room, in my eyes. I don't know.
I think there were some really interesting puzzles in it, but I think a lot of the stuff in the room was a little on the cheesy side.
Right.
And, I think if you're going to do both rooms, this is definitely the room to do first.
Right.
Because to go from the backstage to the basement, I think is a little bit of a letdown. I think if you went from the basement to the backstage,
I agree with you.
And they learned building the basement what they wanted to build when they did the backstage.
Right. Right. It's a definite upgrade to the backstage. It's a definite upgrade.
And we
to
did
what
it.
they're doing.
a year ago. It could be different now.
It could be.
But other than that, I mean, it's not one of my favorite rooms that I've done.
Right. It's like for me it's bottom 70. I mean, we've done 73 now. It's honestly in my eyes it's between 65 and 73.
I think there's a world of difference between the two rooms that are there.
Right. Backstage would be in top 15, 20 tops, top 20.
Yep.
Don't let our reviews though discourage you from doing the room. We just know what you're getting yourself into.
I mean, part of it could have been that we were so novice at it, and first time we ever put in with a group.
Although we worked well.
We did work well with them, but we didn't know how to work with another group.
Right.
We were still learning how to work together.
Right.
I don't know. I think if you do this one first, you'll appreciate the second one better.
I agree 100%. So 1 to 5.
2.
I'm gonna agree with you. It's a 2. Things could have been done a little bit better, a little bit. I know it's a bought room, but you could have made it a little bit better. Again, it was their first room they ever built, but
and it might be different, and they might have changed it.
Right. But
it could have been. I mean, we're remembering something from a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I remember doing that room, was not overwhelmed by it.
Right.
I didn't hate the room. There's rooms that we've done that I've hated.
Right.
It's definitely better than those rooms, and it's definitely better than not doing the room.
Right. I agree.
But I'd rather do that room than the mall.
Right. Me too. I'd rather do that room than one of the ones we did in Florida.
Yeah. And you can stop and get a hot dog at Saints right down the road.
Yeah.
Which is always a bonus.
Yeah. So, Forbidden Escape, my bad. Plainville, Connecticut. Website's right here. Name's right there.
Yeah.
Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. DIU Escape Room Reviews. And if you want us to check out a room, email us. DIU Escape Room Review
Singular.
@gmail.com.
Or you want a beta test?
Yeah, we'll beta test too. And that wraps it up for Forbidden Escape. Make sure you check them out. I'm Dom.
I'm Phil.
That is Bill. Thanks for watching.
Peace out.